Eve, girl, I'm sick of you, girl. This book kind of clean, girl. Because let me tell you, it's a whole bunch of mess surrounding this Suge Knight Eve relationship. But the Eve ain't putting none of that in this. Now, remember, Eve got the propensity to lie or tell a fib or the untruth. Because you know that's how you Scorpios will too when they trying to get things accomplished. But goddamn it, Eve, you really evasive about your relationship with Suge Knight. But I got ya, bitch.
I don't hear nobody out there. Hold it down. Hold it down.
Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and tip your favorite narrator via Cash App at $NAROB on YouTube. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below in the description bar and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Finally, I just want to say, in a time where social media is oversaturated with potential content creators and the veteran content creators, I am very lucky to be able to continue to get a check. It might not be the biggest check, but I can say wholeheartedly that you all who are paying members, the ones that like and share, those of you who have been with me from the very beginning, you all make it possible for me to continue to make a check here on the YouTube. Y'all know at my age, it's very hard for us to garner views and get some kind of revenue. Okay? It's hard for us because YouTube is for the young. But I'm still here. I may be black. I may be ugly. I may even be poor. But I'm still here. Now, let's continue reading Eve's Who's That Girl? La 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 la. Eve's that girl. La 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 la. So there I was in Santa Monica that August, co-hosting the Soul Train Lady of Soul Awards when I heard Suge Knight was in the building. I knew what I had to do. I went to my security guard and said, "Hey, can you bring me Suge Knight? I want to meet him." I don't know who I thought I was beckoning this man. Could you imagine? Go get Suge Knight. Tell him I say, come here. Pronto, tell him, yes, the big red one in red. Tell him I said, come hither. I don't know who I thought I was beckoning this man. And my bodyguard thought I was completely insane. He looked at me like, you can't be serious right now. Oh, but I was. What's the big deal? Go get him for me. That was my semi-delusional response. The Santa Monica Civic Auditorium was packed for the awards show that night. At one point, I went backstage for a wardrobe change, and when I came back out, the crowd had partially cleared because Suge had showed up. It was crickets when he walked in. Complete silence as he entered that building. Everybody knew what time it was. Everybody felt a sense of danger and wanted to run. Everybody but me. That's because you a Scorpio, girl. You invite danger into your vagina. That's what you Scorpios do. Hi, I've been wanting to meet you, I said to Suge Knight. He was 6'2", with the large build of a retired football player. And even at 5'7", plus my heels, I felt like he was a giant. I wasn't scared or nervous though, and he immediately realized it. I knew he was a little shocked by my unwavering confidence. Yeah, he probably wanted to suck you dry, girl. Oh my God, she ain't scared of me. Oh yes, bring her. You, bring her. Maybe it was the Philly in me. Maybe I was just completely crazy back then. Let's go out to dinner, Suge said to me. And so we did. We went to Crustian in Beverly Hills. Troy came with me. And I've got to say, Suge was pleasant and really interesting. We had a great time. What a nice gangster, I thought to myself. The conversation didn't really drift to my label issues until we were nearing our final course at dinner. So where you at? What's happening? He asked, alluding to my situation at Interscope. That's when I laid it down for him. I'm up for renegotiations. They're not trying to pay me. I'm not really feeling it. I had my list of grievances ready for him. Well, if you need any help, let me know, he said, matter-of-factly. I'll do whatever. There it was, the offer I was looking for. So I cautiously replied, maybe. Bitch, stop playing with that killer. Now, when I think about it in hindsight, I say to myself, what the F, Eve? Why did you think that would help in any way, shape, or form? But desperate times call for desperate measures. Plus, when I told my manager, Troy, he didn't flinch at the idea either. Yeah, how he look? Eve, I don't think it's a good idea for you to mess with the Suge Knight. And then Eve go back and say, Suge, my manager, the one who prays with me, said I shouldn't be with you. So for him to be okay with my accepting help from the Suge Knight, well, in my mind, it felt like maybe it was a good idea after all. And I've gotta say, I was still in my little mood about Dre, even though we made a solid hit together. So having Suge, his former boss at Death Row, stomping around Interscope, felt like some sweet revenge. She is a Scorpio. That's what they do. He delivered on his promise and pulled up to Interscope's office in LA one day as planned. I still don't know what went down the day Suge Knight walked into Jimmy Levine's office to fight on my behalf. Yes, you do, bitch. Eve so full of shit. Eve, you full of shit, girl. You're going to need more people because we don't believe. I don't know what kind of threats he was talking or what Jimmy's reaction was. You have to remember, in a situation like that, to me, it's like gangster versus gangster, since in my mind, Jimmy was his own kind of G. Understood? It could have played out like a movie scene for all I know. After that, Jimmy went quiet with me. I can't really say I had much dialogue with him. In the few moments that we did, that face-off was never brought up again. How would I look if I said, oh, hey, did Suge stop by? Even years later, when I was sitting at Jimmy's house for lunch one day, neither of us ever mentioned the moment. I do know that he wasn't happy after that. Instead, I feel like he took his anger out on my third album. Got you. Meanwhile, Suge didn't exactly ask me for anything in return, but he started sending a lot of red gifts to my house. Red plants, red furs. He's a blood, in case you forgot. Maybe my red hair was a green flag for him too. We hung out a few times, but our time together didn't last very long.
Eve was, I don't know if she was trying to use you or what, but Eve, and I got this later from Stevie J, because I remember we went to Farouk's, and he bought a fur coat. One of those, everybody was in those fur coats in the early 2000s, and he gave one to Eve, and we was at the West Hotel, the W Hotel. And I remember Stevie J said, yeah, Red, when I was in there, and she came back, I was in the room, and she gave me that jacket. that y'all just spent $10,000 on her and gave her. And so I don't know if Eve was flaying Suge or what. But yeah, they were hanging out for a minute. And this was like in 2001. Yeah, 2001, 2000. The later part of 2001. And but okay. She was with Stevie J, or going back and forth with Stevie J at the time. But yeah.
One day, I got a call from D, and he wasn't pleased. Neither was Wah. Them Rough Riders is like, you fucking around with the Suge Knight? Are you crazy, girl? Do you know what he does, girl? He is crazy. We want to keep this wholesome. Don't bring that devil into our shit. All I'm going to say to you is, if he puts his hands on you, we going to war, D said. So you need to stop seeing him immediately. I still trusted D and Wah with my life. And if D said Suge was trouble, then he was trouble. And girl, when we go back a few pages, you knew he was the boogeyman, girl. That didn't stop you from accepting the gifts and going to the dinner with him. Girl, Scorpios be tripping. They be on that bullshit. Suge had that whole auditorium scared at his presence, and I'd thought nothing of it. But when my guy said it was time to cut the cord, I didn't think twice. I was like, okay, cool. I promptly called Suge to break the news to him that we couldn't see each other anymore. We had only hung out a few times, but I had to let him know that we had to stop immediately. He got it instantly. He said to me, listen, if you were my little sis, I would tell you the exact same thing. Respect. So you know, if the manager dude would have said, Eve, don't go over there and be friends with him. Don't be his friend. Please don't like him. He's the devil. You know Eve gonna run back and say, my manager said that you the devil. Right here, Eve is admitting that she ran back and told Suge that the Rough Riders said that if you put your hands on me, it's gonna be war. And so we never spoke again. That was the worst possible way to enter into evolution. My love for the process was fading, and I could just tell that after that Suge situation, the label started distancing themselves. Do you blame them? I don't blame them. I don't nobody want to be involved with the boogeyman. All them souls he got around his house, crying for help. Let me go, Suge, let me go. They should have done what they tell women to do when they're offended. Walk it off. Get back to work, suck it up. Whatever, it didn't play out that way for me, yet there was still this urgency placed upon me to keep going and make another album. So pause in the drawers. Let's discuss what the man in that little clip said. He said it was 2001. Okay, she didn't mention nothing in this book about going back and forth with Stevie J. She said it took a while earlier on in the book to let Stevie J go, but she ain't saying what the dude in the clip said. You ain't innocent in this by a long shot, and I don't appreciate how you're making this seem so clean. Girl, you was around there fucking with the boogeyman, okay? And then at the same time fucking with the other boogeyman. And you know that, well, Suge is the boogeyman on the West Coast and Diddy is the boogeyman on the East Coast. And the boogeyman spawn was Stevie J. I can see Stevie J and Eve sitting around the house laughing at how they carried Suge. It's funny to them. Eve was just able to call and say, hey, the Rough Riders don't want me fucking with you no more because they said it was going to be war. And Suge just saying, I get it. If you was my little sister, I'd be that way too. You think Suge give a fuck about the Rough Riders? Maybe at how old he is right now, 62, half dead. Yes. Is he 62? I don't know. But girl, stop it. Something ain't right. Eve, you ain't giving us everything you supposed to give in this book. It ain't giving what it's supposed to give. Scorpion was mainly recorded in Miami, but for Evolution, I was with the Ruff Ryders out in LA. X was doing another album, and the Locks were in and out too, recording. We had rented this big studio that we took over in the Valley, but this time there weren't so many of the other Ruff Ryder crew members around. For me, creatively, I preferred it. I didn't want anyone hanging out in the studio like the old days. And since the label execs weren't hanging around anyway, I could call the shots and have it just be me writing with whatever producer I was working with. That became my comfort zone. But there was also something else changing within the camp. We had all become individual artists, making our individual music in our individual ways. It felt different to me.
Hollywood, lovely white light, baby carry. No, all the stars and gold, the sense of gold, what it is in Hollywood,